Hello everybody, it's 123 Stealth Bomber here. Today I'm bringing you another tutorial on the Assault Squad editor. And today, this is Special Request Day. So yeah, I promised you guys I would be doing special requests for you, like I said yesterday in my other video. So today it will be based on, by special request, it is based on how to make infantry board cannons automatically. Now, this is a lot harder than you think it is, so prepared to be mind-blown because there's a lot to know in something very simple. So, the first thing, to make it as easy as it can, all I can say, guys, is if you don't understand the part, you're going to have to rewind it a couple times, pause it, because it gets very, very confusing. So guys, I suggest you rewind this. It is a very long video, so you guys are gonna have to bear with me, okay? For something very simple, it's very hard. All right. So the first thing we're gonna want to do is we're gonna give the machine gun attack. All we're gonna do is we're gonna give the machine gun attack. We're not gonna give the infantry attack because the way we're gonna do this is a little bit different. We're gonna start the infantry on the machine gun. So once this guy dies, then the other guys will automatically board the machine gun to take over. There is no waypoints, no zones involved. All I have to do is we're going to be making one simple trigger. And this trigger is going to be very long, okay? So all you got to do is you got to hit add and name it you want. Okay, so I, actually, you know what? Instead of put board machine gun here, I'm going to make it, board machine gun auto, okay? No, I don't know, something like that. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to add a condition. Kind of like my video from yesterday with planes taking off and land, you need a near condition. Near conditions are used very, like almost all the time. So yeah, just so you know from my videos, you'll be seeing it very often. So the first thing what we're going to be doing is we're going to go to unit. And this is where it's going to start getting very hectic. And now instead of tag, we didn't give the infantry a tag. So what we're going to do is we're going to give them the player. We're going to give them the player. And we're going to do player 2 because that's the team I gave these infantry for. Okay? So no tag is required for this. However, the player is. So obviously I gave him player 2 because that's the team I gave it to him. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way down to where it says type and select human. Just to verify that it's a human that's going to be going on a machine gun. And same thing for state, to make it so it's operable, so the infantry is alive, it's saying. When you're done with that, hit OK. So now this is where it's going to get a little hard. For the near 2, this is where it gets confusing. So instead of doing the normal tag and all that stuff, this is where you're going to have to do where it says source at the top. You're going to change that from standard to advanced. You're going to notice that it kind of like gets rid of it. It's like, how's this advanced? Well, this is where it starts to get hard. If you right click, those 3 will pop up. These 3 things will pop up. So group, sort, and amount. What we're going to do is we're going to select group. And you'll see select include and exclude. You're going to select and then right click on it, and you'll notice another category pops up. You're going to select tag. In the tag, you go to select on that box and give it the tag of the machine gun. Okay? Simple enough, right? Now this is where it gets a little bit harder. Include, you do not have to worry about include. However, exclude, we do need to add in a couple stuff. Right click on exclude and look for broken component. And for a broken component, we're going to put in an asterisk. And what that is, it's just it's the 8 on your keyboard, but you just hold in shift and then you pressed 8 on your keyboard and then asterisk. It's just saying that I'll explain everything what this is all going to mean after we do the rest of this. So you need to add in the broken component. So now after that, hit add again, right click on it. You're going to look for state. The state that we're going to be looking for is going to be inhabited. Okay? So after you do that, you're going to hit add, right click on it again. And this time you're going to look for tag. And the tag will be a tag. Now this is where it gets a little harder. Instead of the tag that you gave it for the machine gun, this one you're going to name it yourself. So make up anything. Board here is what I gave it. This is the tag. You're going to be using this made up tag for the rest of the like commands and all that stuff. So remember that tag you made up. Okay. And then for the final one we're going to do is state again and make that inactive. Check off inactive. And pretty much what this is saying is the machine gun tag, which is, board machine gun, it cannot be broken, it cannot be inhabited, and it cannot be inactive for these other commands to occur. Okay, I'm sorry. It has to be inhabited and it has to be inactive for it to occur. That's what it's saying. It's stating that this machine gun has to be inhabited, no one could be in it, and it has to be inactive for someone to actually board it. Okay, so for all that, that's what it's saying. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go to distance, and distance, you're just going to type in a number. I typed in 50, but you could type in any number you want. Now, 50 is pretty large, honestly. I kind of went a little bit too much on that. 50 is actually, if when you go to direct control and you see those numbers, 50 is pretty kind of far away. So yeah, I mean, you could make it smaller, but whatever's within that radius of it, those units will get affected, which would be the player 2. So, but 50 is not really required, but in my case, I just put it that way. Okay, so after all that, we are done with condition. We need 4 more, and the rest will be all in commands. So the first command we're going to be doing is entity state. If I can find, there it is. Okay, so the first one is we're going to do is we're going to be going to selector. And if you remember this, I used entity state for how to make paratroopers from a couple of videos before. But it's not as easy as it was for the paratroopers. This one's a lot more complicated. Now, unfortunately, for the entity state, it's actually the exact same thing for what we just did for the near condition. So we have to do the advanced again, and then do the group and the broker component, the state, the tag, all that. We have to do that exactly, pretty much all the same thing all over again. And I'll explain why we have to do that in a minute again. But again, we're going to go to select, right-click that, and give it the tag of the machine gun. Go to where it says, forget about include, but go to exclude and look for the broken component, give it an asterisk, and then search for state, and look for check off inhabited, and then right-click again, and look for tag. So pretty much, since it's all the same thing, I'm going to explain to you why we need to do that. The entity state is actually talking about the infantry itself, okay? The near condition was just talking about the machine gun, okay? So now this is actually going to, these tags and all this other stuff is going to affect the infantry. All these have to be true pretty much for the infantry to board the machine gun, okay? So this time, there's going to be one other thing we have to add in that's different from the near condition. We got to add in an amount. And all you have to do is just add in 1, because we're going to have one guy, get on top of it, get on the machine gun. You can add in 2 if you really want to, but in this case, we're going to do 1. Okay, so when you're done with that, what we're now going to do is we're going to be doing a tag add. And the tag add will be that tag that you made up earlier, which was, for me, it was board here. Remember, it's not in the tags of any other units. It's something that you made up. Okay? So once you're done, you just hit OK. Yes. It's a lot of work. Yeah, we're already like 9 minutes here, but, I mean, it's for something this simplistic, it's very complicated, but we're almost done, guys. Okay, so the next one we're going to be doing is a board command. So now we're going to actually be doing a board command, finally. Okay, so the first one is we're going to be doing selector. Expand that. And unfortunately, we're doing an advanced again. Don't worry, it's not as bad as the entity state, though. But we're going to do select a group. And this time, you're not going to do select or exclude. This time, we're going to be doing the one we didn't touch, was include. Okay, so now include, you're going to right-click on include, and you're going to look for prop. And after all I do this, I'm going to explain to you what this all means. So when you do prop, you're going to look for human. Okay, right click on on prop and look for player. Player will be the player that it's for this team, which is player 2 in my case. And then the final one, which will be state, and the state will be operable. Going to check off operable. Now, pretty much what this is saying is the board, for the board command to happen, it has to be a human. It has to include a human, which is the prop. It has to be player 2 in order for it to even happen, and the infantry has to be alive or operable. Okay, that's what it's pretty much really saying. So yeah, that's really about it. Yep. So now what we're doing after that, after you're all set with that, you're gonna check off sort, and then you're gonna look for entity. Okay, and the entity really pretty much means is the infantry itself or the entity. All right. So pretty much what you're gonna do is you're gonna hit expand after that, where it said entity, and just give it the tag, which is the tag that you made up. This time, make sure you hit amount. You check off 1, which is in my case for 1, how many people are going to be boarding it, which is 1. Usually you don't touch the amount and all that other stuff, but this time you do. So make sure you remember that. And then mode. Mode is just saying nearest or farthest. When the infantry dies, do you want the nearest infantry to get on the machine gun, or do you want the farthest infantry to get on? Doesn't really matter, honestly. We're going to do nearest, though. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to check off nearest. And then finally, we need one more, which is amount yet again. Just type in how many people are going to be getting on it, which would be 1 in my case. When you're done, you're going to now go to vehicle and expand that. Go to the tag and just type in the tag that you made up, which is board here in my case. And then go to amount and check off the amount once again. Remember, amount is going to be used everywhere. It just has to be. That's how it's this this stuff activates, okay? If you miss any of these steps, it won't work. It's just that's how it is. Okay? So now we're on our third one, and trust me, it's another entity state, but don't worry, it's not as bad as the other two. It's actually a lot shorter. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to selector, and you're just going to give it the tag of the tag you made up. Okay, and then you're going to hit OK after that. And then you're going to go to where instead of tag add, like what we did for the other entity state, you're going to do tag remove. And again, type in the tag that you made up, and that will be the tag that gets removed. Okay. And then we're all done. See, that was a quick one. And then finally, we have our fourth and last command. And this one's actually the shortest one. And that one is trigger. And what you're going to do is where it says name, just expand that and select it. And hit OK after that. And you'll notice it's the same as the trigger that you named it. And then you are finally done. Yes. 1 condition and 4 commands just to have like an infantry get on the machine gun automatically. Now, just to show you that it does work, I'm going to test it out. Now, while these guys are fighting those Americans over there in the bush, what I really did was I set up a guy in the back over here, and I put him on my control, and as well as I put him on invincible. So what I'm going to do is, when I start it, I'm going to kill the machine gunner, just to show you that those guys will get on the machine gun right after, as soon as that guy dies. Okay. So finally, we're going to test it to show you. Okay, so I put the guy in hold, and I can only pretty much do the shooting. So now I'm going to shoot the machine gunner, and you're going to see what's going to happen. And, oh, there you go. The guy, I didn't even do it. I didn't even do that. All those commands and conditions, that all activated just to make the guy get on the machine gun and continue firing, and left off where the guy died. See? Those guys are still firing, normally, while that guy's on the machine gun. I'm going to continue firing, and you'll see that guy, he runs to the machine gun and boards it automatically. As soon as one dies, he just gets on to the next one. And I'll keep doing it until all of them are dead, just to show you that it doesn't work for, it'll work for anyone who's in that radius of 50. If you remember, I typed in, if there was more players, more infantry, I mean, they would have kept boarding it. Now, say if you only wanted a certain amount, then you would have gave the tag instead of the player. You would have replaced all those player tags with an actual tag if you wanted only a certain amount. So that's really about it. Yeah. All this just for something that simple. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, liked it and favored it. This is something very hard, but again, like I said, watch it again. So yes, this was our first request of today. I'll be doing another one tomorrow, and I will be continue to do requests over the past couple of these next days. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed, like I said, and yeah, that's really about it, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.